Charlemagne the Gods Get Honest or Die Lying is a provocative call for vulnerability and realness in an increasingly performative world. The book blends memoir, social commentary, and self-help to make the case that small talk and superficial communication are eroding not only our personal relationships but also the greater fabric of society. He argues that in a world driven by curated personas and relentless image control, the real revolution is honesty, especially the kind that requires self-awareness and discomfort. He opens the book by exploring the problem of small talk, its banality, its role in masking deeper issues, and its emotional cost. Charlemagne reflects on how often we hide behind casual questions and polite exchanges to avoid real conversations. These surface-level interactions may keep things smooth, but they prevent growth. He challenges readers to examine how often they participate in these dynamics and what that might be costing them in terms of connection and authenticity. Drawing from his personal experience as a radio host and public figure, Charlemagne uses storytelling to illustrate the difference between saying what's safe and saying what's true. He details moments in his career when choosing honesty, though sometimes awkward or risky, led to transformative breakthroughs. These experiences form the emotional core of the book, showing the payoff of uncomfortable honesty, deeper trust, emotional clarity, and personal liberation. Charlemagne is unflinching in his critique of performative culture, especially on social media, where everyone is selling a version of themselves. He speaks to how platforms reward us for being palatable, agreeable, or dramatic, anything but honest. In his view, this is damaging on multiple levels. It disconnects us from who we are, distorts our relationships, and creates a fragile sense of self based on validation rather than truth. He doesn't limit his message to interpersonal relationships. The book takes aim at institutions and professional spaces where honesty is often discouraged. Charlemagne shares stories of interviews, celebrity conversations, and even corporate dealings where he had to decide between honesty and conformity. He talks candidly about mistakes he's made, times when he chose the easy route and regretted it, and how those experiences taught him to lean into transparency, even when it's messy. Self-honesty is a major theme in the book. Charlemagne emphasizes that being real with others starts with being real with yourself. This means owning your insecurities, being curious about your own contradictions, and questioning the stories you tell yourself. He doesn't present this as a quick fix, but as an ongoing practice that's essential for emotional and mental well-being. The writing is conversational, but never shallow. He layers humor with philosophy, bringing in references from psychology, therapy, and hip-hop culture to create a multidimensional understanding of honesty. He reflects on therapy's role in helping him recognize his avoidance patterns, and how facing the truth about his past, his fears, trauma, and toxic behaviors, has been central to his growth. He also discusses race, masculinity, and mental health, especially in the context of the Black community. Charlemagne points out that for many men, particularly men of color, emotional honesty has been historically discouraged. He advocates for disrupting those norms, insisting that strength lies in being open, not in bottling things up. Throughout the book, he shares practices and mindset shifts that have helped him move toward greater honesty. These include pausing before reacting, asking deeper questions, and creating space for silence, because silence can be where truth emerges. He emphasizes that honesty doesn't mean being harsh or cruel, it means being willing to see and say what is real, with empathy and intention. A key insight he returns to is that avoiding the truth doesn't protect us, it corrodes us. When we lie to ourselves or to others, we create distance. We reinforce shame and fear. And we miss opportunities for genuine connection. By contrast, honest conversations, even when they're uncomfortable, invite healing. Charlemagne also touches on the spiritual side of honesty. He talks about how living in alignment with your truth gives you a sense of peace that no amount of performance can replace. He encourages readers to reflect on their values, to live with integrity, and to surround themselves with people who support their growth, not just their ego. Toward the end of the book, he invites readers to conduct a personal honesty audit. Where are you holding back? Where are you pretending? Where have you been silent when you needed to speak? These questions are meant not as accusations, but as openings, ways to reclaim the parts of ourselves we've hidden. The final chapters return to the idea that meaningful change starts with language. The words we use shape how we think, how we relate, and ultimately, how we live. If we want more joy, more connection, more purpose, we need to be willing to say what's true, even when it's hard. Charlemagne leaves readers with the challenge to be radically honest in one conversation, with themselves or someone close. The book closes not with a conclusion, but with an invitation, to stop lying, to speak the truth, and to see what happens when you do.